Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining me, for tuning in to today's podcast. It's been quite a long time, and yeah, so sorry for a little stretch of no podcast for a while. But yeah, what a better time to come back with some energetic update in during this eclipse portal. So today is, yeah, it's Thursday, the 12th of February. And we are right in it. And I'm sure you out there, you've been feeling it. A lot of us, it's a collective thing. A lot of us have been going through a lot of changes chosen, mostly unchosen. A lot of stuff is up. Things are coming to the surface. Yeah, we are really purging. We are letting go of old paradigms, of old conditioned ways of being. And yeah, this is huge. This is a big week. I would say, as an astrologer, that February is absolutely one of the biggest months of 2026. And also what is unfolding now, and with the first eclipse next week on the 17th, there is a ripple effect over the next 6 months. So this year will be very different, fast moving, lots of opportunities coming in, new possibilities, letting goes, and one of the main themes, and I'll be talking about that a fair bit today, is the energy of Aquarius. Aquarius is the revolutionary, the rebel, the one that's inviting us. The archetype invites us to truly step into our unique gifts, that self-empowerment, no matter how quirky, no matter how freaky we feel that our ideas might be. It's time to unleash the freak, the artist, the quirky one, the odd one, the one when we feel we don't fit in, or who would even who would even follow me, who would believe me, or whatever it may be, whatever we want to share. This is the year of the fire horse that's about to start also next week, where we want to move things forward with stamina, with strength, with an initiatory quality. So before I start talking about current astrology more, I'm just gonna pull a card, see what wants to unfold out of my celestial tarot deck, and see what the energy is for this week. All right. I got the Ace of Wands. Nice card, beautiful card. Hope you can see it. The Ace of Wands in astrology, represented by Mars in Aries. It can't be anymore. Aces are always beginnings, a fresh, brand new start. In the sign of Aries, we're truly starting. Yeah, we're truly starting an initiatory process. We are asserting ourselves. We want to go for what we want. Aries is that sign. I want what I want when I want it. It has a strong will. It starts something, sometimes a bit impulsively, abruptly, because there is that strong sense of asserting, of embodying that will and moving it forward. Actually, it's not so much embodiment, it's more that urge, the call towards action. And I feel this card is very relevant for this week as well, because we got a lot happening in Aries. Okay, so what we're looking at the moment, as we can see, we still have the sun in the sign of Aquarius for about another week. Actually, no, less than a week. The sun will shift into, it's about a week. On the 19th of February, we're starting Pisces season. So exactly a week. And so today on the 12th, the sun is in Aquarius at 23 degrees. We got Mars in Aquarius at 15. Obviously, Pluto is hovering around, actually already at the 4-degree mark, which, yeah, Pluto is also moving forwards in Aquarius, reminding us until 2044, that's a long stretch, until 2044, Pluto will be in Aquarius, dismantling the old, letting hierarchies, old structures need to crumble and fall in order for us to move forward, in order for us to lighten the load. And that's a really big theme as well for the current astrology. And of course, with Pluto in the background, destruction in a very for a positive future. The destruction isn't one that's by chance. Nothing is by chance anyway. Everything is divine synchronicity. And Pluto is the one that takes us into the the liminal, into the threshold where we're meeting the shadows, where we, with Pluto's message is transform or die. There is nothing lighthearted here with Pluto. And I really feel we have been called for a while. We've been feeling the call towards heroic movements to truly, truly be ourselves and to being honest with what wants to show up, with anything that's really ready and ripe to let go of. And as we are moving through this, heroic journey, this maturation growing process. So right now we got Mars and the sun in Aquarius as well. And as I said, Aquarius is the sign of revolution, rebellion, being artistic. There's also, we are more social, possibly. We want to intermingle, very humanitarian. Our calling is for the greatest good of all. For it's not a me based any longer. We are looking at win-win situation. How can we work together, collaborate, coordinate, two parties and come together as a sustainable community. Also, with such strong Aquarian energy, it's all about sustainability to create the world, the future that we come here for, and everything else, boom, needs to go. No questions asked here. But of course, everything has a cyclical nature and is in that synchronicity and divine timing. We can't force things, we can't push things. We know what happens when we do. We work against ourselves, we work against nature. Nature is also fierce and usually shows us when we overdo things and guides us gently, sometimes more fiercely. So also what's just been happening only a couple of days ago, as Venus also moved through Aquarius, she's now in Pisces. Only 2 days ago, Venus moved in her own exalted sign of Pisces and will be there until early March. I'm just gonna have a look again. She'll be in Pisces until, where are we? We have the 7th of March. Venus will move into Aries coming out of Pisces. So, but from now on until the 7th of March, we are Venus exalted in Pisces means we're very creative. There is a softness because Venus in Aquarius, she's revolutionary, she's unique, she's um, also, there's a rebellious streak to it. She wants a lot of freedom and liberation. That's also a really strong quality. Aquarius is about freedom, liberating ourselves. So now Venus is in her own sign of Pisces, exalted sign of Pisces, where there is a flow. Pisces is the womb of the world, the cosmic womb, watery. She's more receptive. She's flowing. She is also for the greatest good of all. There is a spiritual component and immersing with everything that is, with the starry realms, with the physical body. It's a very creative time. Also very loving, more romantic. So it's a really good time to get together with others, to feel the love, the surrendering. She doesn't fight. She wants to compromise. There is a softness. And also, as I said, very creative self-expression. So a really good time to flow with it. Whatever we are drawn to, it's dancing, swimming, anything that brings us into a state of flow, a deeper connection with our inner choices. Also beautiful if we are in a romantic relationship to, let things flow, beautiful lovemaking, anything that's Venusian, that's allowing the feminine, masculine to merge, to flow, to unite. And one thing as we are bonding with another, we need to also have good boundaries. So boundaries are really important, particularly as we have a lot of Pisces energy, and Pisces likes to merge, the urge to merge. And sometimes we ignore our own boundaries, our own limits. We could also feel at times a little bit more tired, lethargic. Maybe our sleep is affected at the moment, particularly as we are in the eclipse portal. So it's also Pisces reminds us of compassion, being compassionate with ourselves. It's a sign of the empath. So again, we need to have good boundaries. If we're very empathetic with one another, then we don't want to lose our own essence. We want to be strong within ourselves. And looking at the current astrology, we don't have hardly any Earth. The only planet in Earth is Uranus, and Uranus is the mover and shaker, shaking up the Earth, actually, earthquake-like. So there is yeah, we don't really have a strong grounding component at the moment. We have the South Node in Virgo, which is Earth, but she reminds us to discern, to let go, to step into our own structure while letting go of control and rigidity. So there is Earth, but all the Earth that's presented psychologically is quite unstable. And we are in very unstable times, in times where we can't predict, well, we can predict a little bit astrologically, but there is still, it's a destabilizing energy. We don't know where it's going. We might have our visions, our plans, but the best made plans might change. And it doesn't mean to go to shit or go bad. It's none of that. But there is a way of the universe, whenever we are during eclipse time, twice a year usually, when in this eclipse portal, we are guided divinely. And again, I love that we have a lot of Pisces energy, which reminds us to flow with things, allowing the sacred flow, allowing to have the faith, to trust things will work out the way they need to, and to let go a little bit of possibly our rigid ways of thinking, finding solutions. It's got to be like that. I got to be here. And so very, very important to going more with the flow. Also, talking about, so Venus till the 7th of March in Pisces, beautiful time to be creative and to chillax, have a relaxing bath. It's a relaxing time. And also the invitation to slow down, because eclipses usually have us on the edge. Our nervous system is more heightened. And that's also, we have a lot of Aquarian energy. Aquarius rules the nerves, the connections between the nerve endings. So everything is more heightened already. And then the eclipses have their way that to move things, to speed things up. And so the Pisces energy reminds us, okay, I need some rest. I need rejuvenation, retreat time. I need a spiritual side of things. I can't just be in the body and keep going and ignoring the urge for meaning and purpose. So we need to acknowledge that. Talking about Pisces, so we got Mercury in Pisces, which also Mercury will unusually stay in the sign of Pisces until about mid-April, very long time, because Mercury is about to go retrograde on the 27th of February till the 22nd of March. So that's a big stretch again, 3 weeks. I mean, we're used to it. Mercury goes retrograde 3 times a year for 3 weeks, but we're ready this week. By tomorrow, we are starting Mercury retrograde shadow, which is about, the 2 weeks prior the retrogradation and then 2 weeks post retrograde. So what that means, Mercury in Pisces is the furthest away from where Mercury is comfortable. Mercury loves to move, to stretch, to go from A to B pretty swiftly. It's the fleet-footed messenger. We want to move. We want to be, mobile. We want to have clarity of thought, of speech, of communication. So Mercury in Pisces until mid-April is slow, is the slowest in Pisces, plus Mercury retrograde time. So for a lot of the time that Mercury is in Pisces, he's either in retrograde shadow or retrograde. So what we need to be careful of, communication with others, there can be more mistakes, more misunderstandings in regards to paperwork. If we're writing something, if we're signing agreements, contracts, to be careful, not never say not to do it. It's just to be aware that are we sending a message, the other person takes it a certain way, there is misunderstanding. There is also Mercury, there will be detours in plans around mobility, transport. If we're going from A to B, be aware, be early at the airport, catch your bus, check your car, check your fuel, whatever, to arrive on time or before a little bit earlier, because this is a time bound starting from tomorrow, pretty much until the end of March. Like we're really looking into early April with the shadow phases, because it creates a time frame of about 7 weeks with the most intensity between the 27th of February and 22nd of March, when Mercury does go direct. But Mercury will still be in Pisces up until about mid-April. So this is big in regards to, yeah, we can feel a bit confused. We can question things more lethargic, not especially the eclipse season that is pushing us, moving us forward, go, go, go from A to B. And then there's Mercury, actually the one that's responsible for our mobility going from A to B, saying, whoa, not so fast. I need to rest a bit more. I need to double check this. I get back to you tomorrow. I'm at capacity. There can be sometimes a bit of a feeling of overwhelm, a feeling, a lack of clarity, of being in doubt, of feeling, okay, I need to sit with this a little bit longer. So it's important to acknowledge that, allow ourselves that. So also over the next couple of days, Mercury is going to meet up with the North Node in Pisces. So there's also a really beautiful spiritual component to it, bringing the sacred into the mundane, stepping away from, yeah, all those, the strong physicality of everything. Well, we do, of course, we're in the physical form, but what I'm saying is to bring more of a sacredness, a Zen-like aspect into life for greater flow, for greater beauty. We want to beautify. Pisces loves to creating a sacred space, putting beautiful flowers around. I love those local roses. So Pisces really invites us to, yeah, being creative and creating a space where we feel at ease, where we feel, ah, I arrived. I'm at home. So we need that. So beautiful flow despite of all the turbulence. And then a big player is Saturn in Pisces, ending a 30-year cycle. Last time Saturn was in Pisces, moving into Aries was 1996. So if we can think of anything back, 1997, there was, yeah, so we're looking, yeah, about 30 years back, 29, 30 years back. That's the cycle of Saturn. So we're in the last couple of days when Saturn is changing into Aries, actually on Valentine's Day, this Saturday here in the Southern Hemisphere. Saturn is changing over and it's not going to go back to Pisces any longer. We'll be in Aries for the next about 2.5 years. So we're up for something. We're looking into, yeah, 2028 sometime, middle of 2028, I think, when Saturn moves into Taurus. So, but right now, we can expect, together with the eclipse season, with Saturn ending a 30-year cycle in Pisces. Pisces is a sign of endings. It's the last sign of the zodiacal wheel. So what am I willing and ready and committed to? Saturn is about commitment. It's about determination. It's about sticking to something. I have this goal and we are successful with Saturn if we can be determined, no matter how long it takes, no matter what it takes. We are determined. This is what I'm going to do. It might be slow. There might be holdups. There might be questions around authority, my own authority, authorities outside of me, other people, whatever it may be. It's about determination, maturation, growth, it's really Saturn sets us up for success if we can do the work, if we are mature and wanna and can claim our own power, our own responsibility. So Saturn brings a lot of lessons. And this week, up until this new moon, also this first eclipse, which is a solar eclipse, in Aquarius at the last degree, and I'm jumping around a bit. I'm just gonna have a quick look. So yeah, it's an annular solar eclipse. It's not a total solar eclipse. And also the beginning of the Chinese New Year, of the fire horse. So this is huge. We are in I would say the most profound week and of the year astrologically. And Saturn in Pisces, there is grief, there is letting go, there is weighing up my losses, my gains. Where am I at? Where do I want to go? What do I want to commit to? Saturn is about commitment. And yeah, and it's such an invitation, a beautiful invitation, particularly then on this Valentine's Day, to make a commitment to ourselves. If we have a beloved, maybe renewing our commitments, renewing our vows, or a sense of, because in Aries, Saturn is moving into Aries, starting a whole 30-year cycle. So we can also ask ourselves, what do I want to bring forwards? What do I not want to take with me any longer on this journey? What is new? Aries, again, Ace of Wands, the absolute initiation in our thinking, in our belief systems. What do I want to bring forwards? What do I want to commit to? And it doesn't come with holdups. It won't come with greatest ease and flow, because it's an adjustment. It's also meeting ourselves anew. It's like meeting ourselves at 0 point like never before. Neptune, the conjunction of Saturn and Neptune, I'll talk about that next week. That's going to be exact around the 20th of the month. That's big. That hasn't been for, I don't know how many hundreds of years it's been. I'll look that up, but this is huge. This is revolutionary, evolutionary. We are adjusting our thinking, our belief processes. Neptune is out in the ether. Saturn is anchoring us into the body. So it's a whole new way of embodiment that is happening. Then we have the new moon, first solar eclipse next week on the 17th at the last degree point of Aquarius, 29-degree mark. This is big, big beginnings. And also another big feature about this upcoming new moon is the square to Saturn. So the sun and moon that want to initiate, bring in our uniqueness, individual self-expression, meeting ruler of Aquarius, modern ruler of Aquarius, Uranus in a square. So there is a call to action. There is shakeups, breakthroughs, epiphanies. Anything is possible. Solar eclipses, and it doesn't have to be on that day. It is over the next 6 months. There's going to be new opportunities. I feel it is positive. There's a lot of positivity around that. It might shake us up, but it's an internal shake up towards our own unique individuation. And yeah, it's Pluto's message, transform or die. I'm not suggesting anyone's going to die. It's really, but it is a death to old ways of being. And I'm just going to read out last thing here out of Dan Rudier's astrological mandala, the last degree point of Aquarius, what it means, what he says. A butterfly emerging from a chrysalis, the capacity to utterly transform the character of one's consciousness by radically altering the structural patterns of everyday living and the types of relationships one enters upon. Here, what is emphasized is the process of metamorphosis itself. It is the fourth symbol of a fivefold sequence, and it stresses the essential character of the activity required. Okay, a radical change is needed. At this stage, this change is individual and mental, and it should be seen against the background of humanity as a whole after his or her emergence from a critical state of transition. This implies initiation. And here it is again. We got the word initiation again. The Ace of Wands is initiation. So on so many levels, we are initiating a whole new way of being. We are saying, okay, I know this is not me, this part, that part, with greatest Piscean empathy, compassion. Also, these energies, of course, they reflect the relationships we're in. We might be going through a lot of changes within relationships because we are all feeling it. We're all adjusting. We are adjusting to commitments. We want to commit to ourselves once and for all. And this is beautiful. This is empowering and uplifting. And also, I feel it's also shaking us up a little bit. And so, yeah, I'll leave you with this happiest of solar eclipse portal. I'll talk to you next week. Exactly. I will be talking to you exactly on the solar eclipse next Tuesday. I will do a podcast, and by then I think we already also have shifted a lot more because things are speeding up and every day is different, and we are really becoming more a fully embodied light being, and it's super exciting. Okay, I'll leave it with this. Thanks so much for listening. Much love, and talk to you soon.